Alrighty, let me get you guys settled in. I wait for a few more people to come in, and just to give you a heads up, I am shooting live from Willis Hobbies in New York. I'm gonna leave information downstairs, down in the comments section below for you guys to check that out. Thomas Cook, what's going on? Owen, what's going on? I don't even know. Nils, what's going on? Hanging in there, my friend, hanging in there. So I'm just gonna wait for more people to come in. I'm gonna come across, give you a full view of the new Traxxas 4Tec 2.0. And once I can come across and give you more information about this unit, you guys can ask me a whole bunch of questions, and I'll be able to help you out with whatever your interest on that. Tap Money, what's going on, player? YRC, Mooch, what's going on? Ralph, Khalib, Jack Chase, what's going on? UMB, Wired, a whole bunch of people are joining in. Hopefully we'll be able to, what's up, Jay? Get more information on this. The Traxxas Corolla will be a discussion on another video that I'm going to be having this week. So we'll talk about that later on. I just want to get more and more in depth with this Traxxas 110 scale 4Tec GT. The 4 GT looks awesome. Andy, what's going on? Hudson, what's going on? Yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of things, and I'm going to be doing a lot of upgrades, and we'll talk about all the things that are going to be happening there. Just to give you guys, once again, a heads up, I'm shooting this live from Willis Hobbies. If for some reason you're near Willis Hobbies in New York, just pop in, say what's up. You might be on the live chat. And if you find this information good for you, just leave me a thumbs up. That does help me out. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it being a brush system and everything like that, and we'll talk about a few other things about the 4 GT that you guys are going to be very interested in finding out. So I'm just going to wait for a few more bodies to come in, and then we're going to be starting this very soon. Usually I like to start this around the 3-minute mark, so I'll come across, we'll check out the body, we'll check out the box itself first of the stuff that it comes with, and then we'll go in depth with the car itself. So I'll start in 30 seconds.
Okay. All right, John. Yeah, great day.
My people from Switzerland, what's going on? East Coast, what's going on? Matt Young, what's going on? Alrighty, so let's start off the discussion. As I promised you guys, I was able to acquire or do a review on the new Traxxas 4Tec 2.0. So the cool thing is, you know, a lot of people know that this is coming out in May, but I was able to come across and have one in front of you right now. Special thanks to the guys at Willis Hobbies. They were able to help me out with this and start doing a whole bunch of things for you guys to check it out. See if it's something that you're interested in. It's something Traxxas in actuality revamped the initial 4Tec from the Nitro. Now they're going to electric, and I'm gonna come across and just show you the box, the way it's the way it's set up. So, as you guys can see, this is the side of the box, stuff that it gives you right now. It does come with a controller. This is the initial drivetrain that's over there. That's how it's gonna be set up with the pinion, and also there's a spur. The steering mechanisms right there. A different type of receiver box, which looks pretty cool. It goes on top of the servo. The cool thing about this is that they did give you a 2075 servo, so that's pretty cool. When I initially ended up looking at the box itself, I'm like, oh, you know what upgrades can I put on there? You can put up a brushless system in there, and we'll see if we could stick something a little bit bigger in there, and we'll see. So I'll come across, this is the back of the box, and that's the beautiful red GT color. If you guys are interested in finding out which color I'm going to get, leave me a comment below. See what color I should get, either blue, red, or black. as I flip this thing over again, I'm gonna come across and give you the internal components that are in there. So as you can see, you have the XL5, you have the Titan 12 turn, you do have the controller, you have the receiver, pinion, you have different types of movable body posts, which is a cool thing that Traxxas introduced. You do have your tools, you do have your bag, and you're gonna need batteries, a charger, and other batteries to run the car. So that being said, let's come across and give a little bit of details of the Ford GT. So as I pull the Ford GT in front of you, a lot of people had a discussion and concerns of why would they make this a brush system over a brushless system. Price point. A lot of people, as I can see from the comments coming down like continuously, want to upgrade this type of car, you know, immediately into a brush system. They ended up putting it at a price point which is affordable to A, the regular hobbyist, and B, for guys who come across and start customizing these things. And Lord knows there's gonna be guys out there that want this thing to go above 100 miles an hour or something like that. I know you guys out there, a lot of them in Long Island, Florida, California, all over the United States, all over the world. So to come across and get something at a price point of $300 with a brush system, which some people are going to utilize, some people are not. With the brush system that's in there right now, this thing is very, very quick. You're looking at around 30 miles plus an hour with this unit. It's not scale, it's scale miles per hour, as you know. You're not looking at something that you can GPS this and say, all right, you know what, it's going to go above 30 miles an hour. That's definite. So what does this unit come with? So you're gonna have your 2.4 gigahertz controller, which is right here, which is a cool thing. And also, you do have your bag of parts that are in there. As you can see, you have the clips for the shocks. You have an extra pinion that's available over here. You have the body posts that are available. They do give you extra body clips, which is a cool thing. You're gonna have a whole bunch of manuals available in this unit, and your tools, which is a cool thing to have when you do acquire the Ford GT. Now, let me pause for a second and see what type of questions have come there. Brushless. Nice. There's speed upgrades released. Yes. All right. Cool. Okay, so now I read a few of the questions and I'm going to come across and tell you exactly what's going to happen with it. So let's talk about the body. The body itself, I'm going to move the car back out the way and just talk about the way the body is set up. The body looks like it comes into three parts. It comes across, you have the main Lexan body that's over here, and then you have this part that wraps around, so which makes it two parts, and then also you have the components to where you are able to put LEDs onto the body itself. So it looks pretty cool on how they in actuality made this really, really scale, you know, for a lot of people who love their scale vehicles. So I'm gonna put this body on top and let's come across and talk about the 4Tec itself. So when I look at it, and initially a lot of people that have looked at this RC, you know, with a few other videos that have been out there, it does remind you of the Slash 4x4 or the Rally 4x4 LCG edition. I'm gonna come across and give you a heads up of everything that I've noticed immediately on this RC when I got it in my hands. So Traxxas ended up coming across and doing a different type of battery tray hold down, you know, so you're able to twist this, give it a 23 millimeter, twist it again, give it a 26 millimeter hold down, you know, for a bigger battery and stuff like that, or if you are throwing a two cell LiPo. Also, you do see where the mounts are right there. This is a pretty big can, so I know either a VXL or Castle Creations or whatever motor that you want to install into this RC will have that available. Also, what you're looking at, this is the XL5 ESC, which is Traxxas's brushed ESC for that unit. The cool thing about this is that everything mounts underneath, and as you can see, there's room, a little bit more room to throw a bigger ESC in there. Now the receiver box is something totally new. I have not seen this on any of the Traxxas vehicles. That's pretty awesome. Also, the servo is underneath the receiver box, and some people might, utilize the servo that's over there. Some people not, but I like the fact that Traxxas went ahead and put the 2075 servo for that unit as well. Turn this around. As you can see, these are the shocks. Get that a little closer right there. You are able to put clips to stiffen them up. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of aftermarket parts that Traxxas is going to come out with very soon. Also, as you guys well may know, I'm going to customize this immediately once it's brought home. So, let's look at the back. Here's the way the back mounts up as well. As you can see, it does look very familiar, just like if you're looking at the Slash 4x4, but you'll notice on the arms, it's a little bit different. As you can see, the links are right there. The arms are still there. Something pretty cool. I'm looking at the wheels. The wheels do have the disc brakes. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of companies that are going to make them aluminum and stuff like that and make it a little bit more customizable. So that's pretty cool. Also, let's see how this. It's pretty smooth with the 2075 servo that's in there right now. As I can see, they do have the sealed ball bearings within the RC itself. Now, this RC is water resistant, which is a cool thing. A lot of people, are going to bash around it with this in the water. No, I can't really say bash, but they are going to ride this car in the water, which is a cool thing. Terribly sorry, I do have a slight cough. So, let me give a few of the questions right there. What's up? Early, clever, yeah. No, it does. It feels very sturdy. I mean, realistically speaking, if you've had a Slash 4x4 LCG, this does have rigidity in it. As you can see over here, you have the bulkhead, very similar to the Slash 4x4. It feels very solid. It does feel very solid. The springs, the shocks look nice and smooth. I like the way it's set up. So, let me see. Okay, looking forward to see what you end up doing to the car. Oh, well, you guys will me know. I'm going to customize this beyond belief. So, how does the bumper feel? It feels like a regular foam bumper, like a lot of companies have. See, I'm pushing on this hard, so the bumper is pretty solid on this one, Also, let me see. Let me come across and look at a few other things on this RC itself. From what I understand, Traxxas is coming out with a whole bunch of upgrades for this. So, can it fit? Let me see, what are you asking? Can it fit 200 millimeter bodies? From what I understand, it should be able to fit those type of bodies, for the reason that they have within the kit itself their body post to where they're maneuverable, so you're able to come back and forth and maneuver it, which is a cool thing that Traxxas ended up doing, because a lot of people are going to be utilizing different types of bodies. I think Traxxas did a lot of work in finding out that a lot of guys do a lot of speed runs with these type of cars. Could it be converted to a Slash? No, this cannot be converted into a Slash. Definitely not. You can try, but even the way the arms are set up, I mean, it would be almost impossible to even try to make this into like a Slash or mini Slash or whatever like that. I don't think that you would be able to do that. So, let me see what other questions we got. If you did a motor upgrade, what would it be? Let me see. If I did a motor upgrade, well, here's the thing. At my house right now, I have a brand new VXL system that's available for this unit. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to be doing. And it's the new 4-pole system. So that's going to be installed there immediately. I am going to drive this brush system, and I'm going to see what the VXL system is available for it. Will I be able to stick something else in there, like something bigger, like you guys have seen beforehand? We'll see, but I'm going to try it right now with the brush system, then throw a VXL system in there.
Traxxas is on right now.
So-
They said you to mention that. Traxxas is watching this.
No, I didn't even know that.
Just mention Traxxas is watching, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, from what I found out, that a few people are watching this. So, one of the mentionings has mentioned the knob that can be removed for increased steering throw to drift the car. Oh, interesting. So that's something cool about this. So this RC itself can be a drifter as well. I can't wait to come across and have this in my hands for me to even test that part of it. So once we do the initial drive run with this RC, I'm going to be able to come across and give you pretty much every aspect of this RC that I can. And from what I'm looking at right now, I am going to be throwing a little bit more clips into this RC just to make it a little bit stiffer. That's just the way I ride the RC. I ride it a little stiffer. But judging, I know a lot of people have, I see a lot of messages that are happening down there about the concerns of the rigidity of this unit itself. And to be honest with you, I think this is a pretty solid RC. Even the body itself. I mean, if you look at the back, I want you to see the full back of this unit. And I know there's an LED kit out for this right now. I don't know when Traxxas is going to release it, but this thing looks just totally awesome, So let me come across, close this up. I'm gonna give you a few Q&As right now, and then we'll come across and whatever questions you guys have, I'll be able to assist you on that with. So let me see. What motor upgrade would you do with it? Like I said, it would be the VXL system with the full pull motor. Detroit Bastard X Suite. Could it use protoform bodies? I'm not too sure. Like I said, Traxxas did come across and give you adapters for the body mounts on there, so that would be something interesting to find out about. RC Fest Studios Productions. How much depth is left for the motor mounts? That's it. That's an interesting part. That I would have to do a little bit of research on that, but let me come across and give you just a little bit more of a closer look on the way the installation is done. I'm pretty sure when the motor mount is installed over there, you should be able to get a bigger motor. There's going to be a little bit tight clearance right here. So the VXL system or Castle Creation system or any other company that you're able to upgrade this RC with should be able to fit nicely in there. Will it be able to fit a 1/8 scale? I'm not too sure. Some person asked that question beforehand because of the way it's set up but as of right now, from what I'm looking at, a VXL system would slip into this easily with no issues. Or your sidewinders or whatever motors you want to put in there. Okay, let's keep going with the questions. If you would upgrade this, would you go for max speed 100 miles per hour? Yes, I would try to go for max speed on this. Aerodynamically, it looks awesome. So that would be something I'd be interested in doing. Like I said, I wish I could. I knew it. Okay. Jack's Case 79 says, I think it's a great thing that they kept at a decent price point. I feel that they need adjustable car posts on most of their cars. Well, I think this is something new Traxxas has been has been putting their ear to the ground, trying to get more input on that. Shows like this and other shows, of what people like, what people don't like, and stuff like that, which is a cool thing. So who knows? In the near future, they might be doing a lot of RCs with an adjustable body post. I'm not too sure. The shocks look like the E-Revo ones. Randy Thomas asks. Well, here's the thing with the shocks. The shocks are small. I mean, if in a few minutes I'm going to be able to get an XO1 out here, and I can give you a size difference between this and an XO1. If you look down right here, you're going to see a few of the Traxxas vehicles right there, and you're gonna realize the size of this unit, and it's a pretty good significant 1/10 scale. When I get the opportunity to have another car in front of it, I'll put the XO1 next to it, and we'll be able to see a little bit of a size difference for you guys to get a comparison of primarily what you are acquiring with that. So let's go to another question. Okay, iPod Guy 55. What controller does it come with? I'm sorry if I missed it. It does come with the TQI controller, which is pretty much your upgradable controller if you want to throw in the Traxxas Link, which is a cool thing. I have that on 2 of my controllers right now, and it does give you the multifunction steering knob, and also the steering trim on that. So a lot of the vehicles do come, regardless of whatever, it's going to be a 2.4 gigahertz controller. I'll put that right there for you guys to see that. Okay. Detroit Basher RC. Carbon fiber upgrades would be awesome. Well, we'll see what happens with whatever upgrades that are happening with the new GT. I mean, it's still a relatively new RC. I mean, realistically speaking, it's not even out on the market yet. So we'll see what upgrades are going to be happening very soon. But it looks like a lot of the older Traxxas parts that you're able to. I mean, there's a few things that you're able to install into this. I mean, you're able to change out the nuts over there, maybe get the blue anodized stuff, and then I'm pretty sure if I'm looking at the shop caps, I think the shop caps are the same size as if you would see on a Rustler. If that's the case, that'd be awesome because I'd be throwing blue shop caps or whatever color RC I'm going to be getting. And what else? A few other things that I'm looking at, which would be a cool additive upgrade to this. But, you know, it's a hobby, so you're able to do whatever you want with your car because it's going to be your car. So, you know, everybody has their own concepts. I'm very happy that a lot of guys look at my RCs for a lot of conceptual stuff, so that's a cool thing. All right. Let me go back to more questions. All right. Randy, I'm curious about what wheel size, especially for the upgrades. See, I didn't do any research on how big these wheels are. I believe they're the 110 scale size wheels. So once I'm able to get a different type of 110 scale size wheels, I'll be able to compare it onto the RC itself. So if that's available, we'll be able to check that out. What size pinion spur gears are in the car? That's another good question. Let's go check that out. So I think I would have to crack open the booklet to find out which size pinion and spurs. I believe it's going to be a 48 pitch, but I'm not too sure the way the gear ratio is set up on the RC as well because the cover for the unit, it is closed, so I don't know what the stock gearing is for the GT itself. Okay, next question. RC says thanks. I'm gonna assume a 50. You know, I'm not too sure. Jack Chase 79 says I'm gonna assume 540/550 motor will fit best. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I haven't been able to break this thing apart. Okay. Do you think there's room for a Tekin or Poseidon system? I know Poseidon systems do run a little bit longer. You would just have to navigate a whole bunch of things. But like I said, I'm not too sure of the type of, if there's even available metal pinion spurs for this unit yet. Slipper clutch in the center diff. Is there? I didn't see any diagrams on the slipper clutch. I'll check that out immediately. So I got a little bit of information right here, which is a cool thing, and this, guys, will be something that you'll be able to find out about. So I'm already finding out that from factory, it's a 48 pitch, the pinion is a 21 tooth, and the spur is a 70 tooth. So hopefully that's able to assist you of what's initially transpiring with the RC once it comes out the factory. So many special thanks for the information that I just got. Once again, for guys who have just logged in and just checking out the live unboxing, pretty much, I'm going to go over the unboxing again because I know a lot of people ended up showing late for this, but I'll be able to get to a lot more questions and stuff like that. Once again, special thanks to the guys at Willis Hobbies in New York. They were able to assist me for me to get my hands on the 4Tec 2.0. So This is pretty exciting for me. So for you guys that haven't seen this beforehand, because I know a lot of people ended up checking out the video a little bit later, here's the body itself. This is pretty much the box of what you're going to, and look, I'm gonna pan this out a little bit for you guys to get a little bit of a view of primarily what's the size of this vehicle as well. So this is pretty cool. Also, I'm gonna come across, show you the side of the box as well, for you guys to get to a little bit more of a visual in there. I'm gonna go over the RC again for you guys have any questions with that, and I'm gonna bring the RC in front of you. Hold on for one second, because I was asked by a few people to compare this to their 1/7 scale size system. So bear with me. If I can get that. All right, so let me go for a little bit more Q&A. Okay, now Craig says it'd make it drift RC. In actuality, I just got information that you are able to change up the rear to make the Ford GT a drift vehicle. So that's something cool that Traxxas added on there. You're able to take that off and adapt that to that. So I'm going to pan out this right now, and I'm just going to give you a size difference between the Traxxas 4 GT and the X01. So let me push you down over here, and this is the X01 right there. So as you can see, this is the size comparison between both of them. And that is a 1/7 scale vehicle, and that is their 1/10 scale vehicle. I know a lot of people have said, you know what, they should have made the X01 with the Ford GT body. We'll see what happens in 2017. I'm not too sure, but I hear a little rumblings here and there. So, so let me push this back here. Push you a little bit closer. All right, a little bit more Q&A. All right, price. Well, the price on Traxxas' website right now, I believe it's $309, but I'm pretty sure at the hobby shops it will go for around. Here we go. I'm gonna give you a price point from Willis Hobbies. This will be the price point at Willis Hobbies right now. So you're looking at $289.99 for the pre-order for the Traxxas 4 GT. So that's pretty cool. So that's what you're looking at right now to acquire this RC. Now, just to give you a heads up, there are pros and there are cons. Here's the pro. Once you start getting into the hobby grade about this, you're gonna get a charge, you're gonna need a battery and stuff like that. A lot of people like the batteries that come with the unit. A lot of people don't. A lot of people want to upgrade and stuff like that. This does not come with a charger or battery. So that gives you the options of either going with a nickel metal hydride battery, or you can get, a 2-cell LiPo battery. So there's many options. Like I said, the price point on this was, to me, was fair, because a lot of people like to upgrade these type of RCs, and we'll see what happens in the near future with that. I'm going a little bit more Q&A. Are they 10 millimeter hex or 12 millimeter? I'm pretty much betting the farm it is a 12 millimeter hex. And that was from Michael Rittenborn. Can you explain the disc at each wheel, the width and the diameter? Well, really, I'd have to get my tools out to explain the disc, but it looks like the discs in actuality is the 12 millimeter hub adapter that goes on there. So yeah, it looks like that's what it is. Let me get a little bit closer look right there. So that's what you're looking at. Sorry, this is a live Q&A, so I'm trying to get to as many questions as possible for this. Okay. Nice review. Thank you very much. David Bailey. Could you use a Techno Big Bone sensor drive shaft from the Slash or the Stampede? I don't think so. but I believe they would come out with, if this unit sells well, I believe Techno would come out with a drive shaft like that. I like the Techno. I have that on my Stampede and I have that on my Slash 4x4. So that would be, like I said, there's companies are just starting to jump into doing aftermarket parts for this, and I'm pretty sure Traxxas is going to be doing aftermarket parts for that as well. Okay, next question. Bum. Let me see. Gio, what's up? Love your videos. Pretty sure they're gonna come out with the VXL version 2 in a year or so, just like they did with the version 2 X Max. I'm pretty sure Traxxas would do that. I mean, I wouldn't see why Traxxas wouldn't make this a VXL version. Most of their vehicles do come in a brushed version and also come in a brushless version. I mean, anywhere from the Stampedes to the Rustlers to the Slashes, to the E-Revos. So even the E-Maxes. I don't think they'll ever do that with the X-Max, but you never know. All right. Why didn't they make it with a Mamba Monster, or are they? I don't think so. I think conceptually they wouldn't throw a Mamba Monster system in there because that's a 1/8 scale motor, and for that to cram into there, it's just, the price point of this would just go astronomically too high, and it's just not worth it. Okay, yeah, because East Coast says it probably wouldn't fit. Put a Slash 4x4 by it. I could possibly put a Slash 2-wheel drive by it. Hold on. 4x4? All right, hold on. All right, so I'm gonna pan out a little bit, and I'm gonna put the Slash 4x4 next to this unit. I'm gonna pan out a little bit for you guys to see the size comparisons between the Slash 4x4 and the way it's set up like that. So let me see. All right, so that's the Slash 4x4. That's from DJ Vlogs. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more of a size comparison of what you're looking at between the on-road car and the short course vehicle. And personally, I was talking about this with a few of the hobby guys that are over here. This is pretty much a great time to get into the 1/10 scale game. I'm gonna give you a reason why. Well, here's two reasons. One, a lot of people like doing the speed runs and everything like that with the 1/8 scale systems out there. But people like the 1/10 scale vehicles. Now, we all know that HPI ended up being acquired by another company and stuff like that. So HPI kind of fell off the market right now. So this is a perfect opportunity for Traxxas to come across and utilize their R&D to create a 1/10 scale vehicle. Now, mind you, they've always had the 1/10 scale Nitro 4Tec, which is a cool system, but now the way everything is going electric. People want it faster, people want it more customizable. And the fact that not only that they changed the whole, setup on the 4Tec itself, instead of going belt drive, they ended up going shaft drive, but also they ended up throwing a 4GT body on there, which was pretty cool on Traxxas' part to do that. All right. Well, the VXL system, yeah, you could throw a VXL system into this immediately with no problem. So, okay, how low is the ground clearance? It wouldn't hit over any stones. All right, so let me look at the ground clearance itself. You know what? I might as well help you guys out and try to see the way the ground clearance is. Bear with me 1 second. And hopefully I'll be able to help you out with that. So the ground clearance is pretty cool in that. So just to give you guys a heads up, it does clear off very well. Let me get this going. Usually when we're doing live feeds, I come across and try to do this as cool as possible for you guys. All right, so let me go to a little bit more of Q&As from you guys. I'm trying to read. Okay, will you be able to put a 3S with no problems with the battery strap that comes with it? Possibly you'd be able to fit a 3S in there. with the battery, yeah, I know what the 3S battery size. So the Traxxas, I'm pretty much betting the farm that the Traxxas 3S battery, you wouldn't have to have one available, would you?
You want to give that car a run?
Yeah, might as
You guys
well.
like to see it run?
Yeah, so
Alright.
I'm getting checking it out. I'm gonna give it a run by over here for you guys to check it out. Racer 15, you got a shout out. How does the performance compare to entry level all-wheel drive as opposed to Kyosho HPI? Well, I haven't driven this yet, so now we're gonna come across and just give you a quick dry run of how the RC drives. So I'm new. What on this? Luke asks me, I'm new. What car is this? How new? This car is so new, it's not even sold yet. So that's how new this car is. Okay, okay, so that's the component. Okay, in scale size, still bigger, of course. Nah, it is a little bit. Oh, and it's a little bit bigger than that. So just to give you a heads up on that. The scale size difference between that and the other, the when you're looking at size ratio, for some reason, you know, I believe the short course have their own setup on the way their 10 scales are. Do you reckon you can go 3 brushes without any mods? I don't know yet. Once I'm able to throw a VXL system in there, I'll slap in a 3S and we'll see what's actually how this holds up. It should hold up the way a slash 4x4 would hold up if you're doing a 3S system on there. Okay. Oh, speaking of the blue body, I had some. That was pretty funny. Warhawk, you almost had me read that whole thing. Well, here's the problem. I found out on Friday about the car, and I was going to do a live video. And Friday didn't end up panning out for me. And you guys well may know I do ride motorcycles on. I do ride motorcycles. I had to do something on Saturday, and then Sunday was Easter. So today I ended up coming immediately over here just to do a live video for you guys. So enough about that. We're charging up a battery for you guys to get a quick run view, and I'm just gonna go over the car with you again for guys who have just checked out the channel and see a few things about the Traxxas 4Tec 2.0. So once again, I'll come across and let me go on this side so I can get a better view for you guys. Traxxas ended up going with new battery hold downs, so you're able to turn it around, either change it from a 23 millimeter to a 26 millimeter on the fly, which is a cool thing. It is a little bit raised. I'm pretty sure they will come out with a battery extender because they always do in all their vehicles. So that's something that will be in the near future, I would guess. Also, let's come across, turn this around. Surprisingly, I was happily surprised because of the price point. It was only $300. They did give you the higher powered servo, which is the 2075. Also, you're able to make this into a drift vehicle. This is a 12-turn motor. Traxxas is Titan 12-turn motor. Also, this is the XL5 ESC. The receiver mount is different, which is cool. It just sits on top of the servo itself. I have not cracked open to see the way the internal parts are right now. So once we're able to do that, you know, it should be good to go. It does come with, I'm just curious. Yeah, the drive shafts are steel. Yeah, they are steel. It looks like it's plastic cups, but the drive shafts are steel. They feel like steel, unless it's like really, really hard plastic. Nope, it is steel drive shafts. The cups on the internal part of the wheels are metal. I believe the cups by the diffs are plastic. You are able to utilize clips for the springs. Also, like I said, you are able to change out the rear to make this a drift vehicle, which a lot of people are very interested in doing. I see a lot of drift videos out there, which is a cool thing for the RC itself. It does come with a 2.4 gigahertz controller. It does come with adaptable body mounts for you to throw different types of bodies in there. Adjustable body mounts, pardon me. It does come with a whole assortment, different type of pinion clips for the shocks. Also, it does come with a few tools and body clips as well. So that's something cool for you to have, and it gives you the instruction booklet. So let's get to a few questions, a few more questions for you guys that are live. Okay, Jerry, what's going on? Okay. Shout out to your hobby shop, letting us put batteries and letting you do all this. You know what? Definitely cool. Shout out to Willis Hobbies. They're based out of New York. I'll just give you a quick rundown on the hobby shop. It is 2 floors. So if you go into the bottom floor, you're able to see train sets and everything like that, and a few other hobbies that are down there. But if you are able to come across, and I'll give you a pan view of the whole hobby shop, they have the whole 2nd floor dedicated to radio control, which is definitely cool, you know, for that. So definitely a cool shout out to the guys at Willis Hobbies. I'll leave information in the description below for you guys to check them out and stuff like that. So okay, Luke, how expensive? Well, I did have a piece of paper over here to tell me how expensive it was. So from the Traxxas website, you're looking at around $309, but at Willis Hobbies, pre-order for the 4GT is $289.99, coming in mid-May. So just to give you a heads up, that's how new it is for the people that have asked me how new is this RC. So here we go. RC, hey, Overkill RC, what's going on? Do I like it? I do like it. It's definitely going to be in the arsenal. So I have to say it's very, very scale, this RC. So it's something cool to have, even, you know, to have amongst your friends, you know, because a lot of people are doing speed runs. A lot of people are bashing, but it is the summertime right now, and a lot of people are doing speed runs. And like I said, this is really, really scaled. There's just going to be a whole bunch of things you're going to be able to do with this RC. I'm really excited about the 4GT, just as I was excited when the XO1 came out, because I could just see what you can do with this RC in the near future. Yeah, the hobby shop is really cool. Definitely head out over here and stuff like that. You know, the guys are very informative of what you need, and they have an assortment. I'm talking about, this is just a small version of their Traxxas section. You know, so whatever Traxxas vehicles you are looking for, they pretty much have, and they can get it pretty fast. Okay, another question. Are they gonna come out with high current plugs like they have for the X-Max? I don't think so. Like I said, at the price point that they have the 4GT, they would just have it like that. And you're not going to be running high current in this RC unless you start upgrading a whole bunch of things. And by that time, you'll be upgrading the ESC. Let me see. Okay. Colin, it's up to you. It looks really light. No, it's not. It does have. Look, it does have a little weight to it. It's not light. You know, I mean, it's deceivingly, it has weight, because look, I don't even have the battery in there. you know, you have all the components that are initially would be in the slash 4x4, and the only thing missing on this would be the size of the wheels, the lengths of the arms, and the size of the shocks when they're filled with oil. But this thing does have weight. There's meat on this thing. So okay, more questions. I had to come up with a custom body for that. Yeah, that's gonna be a definitely cool custom body that has to be done for this RC. Like, as you guys want me to know. Oh, just to give you guys a heads up, my X Max custom body will be released tomorrow. So for all you guys that are checking that thing out there. Matt Young, if I had an RC, I'd put LEDs on the glows. Fast and the Furious. Well, you know what? This is something cool for you to even check out since the Fast and the Furious movie just came out. Undertale LEDs, you're able to, in actuality, if I was you, I'd come across and line it up under here so it splashes not only underneath the car but lay it down, and then just an assortment of things. You are able to put LEDs in the rear. I believe Traxxas does have that as an additive part that you're able to buy, but that would be something cool to make it like a Fast and the Furious vehicle. Same widths. Okay, the widths of the wheel. All right, just like in the XO1 and just like the real Ford GT, there is a difference in the size of the wheels. So on the rear, you're going to see the wheels are going to be thicker than the fronts. So that's definitely a good question. A lot of people are interested in knowing that. So they are thinking, like I said, this is really to scale. So they are smaller in the fronts and they are thicker in the rear. So that's definitely a good question that you had over there about the Ford GT. Okay. Okay, Gio, I need a name, number, and web address of the hobby shop. Hold on one second. If I can get your business card? Yeah, I'll give you that information. They are taking pre-orders. If you guys have ever seen my channel before, you know that day one, I got the XO1. Day one, I got the X Max. So these guys pretty much get everything day one. Now, you guys know something? You guys know something? Know something? Yeah, but they should. Yeah, no. So this is what you're looking at right now. You guys can see this. And there's their website. So hopefully you guys were able to snap that. And all right, so another question that ended up coming was, how does the steering bell crank, is it sturdy or does it look like the mighty weak spot on the 1275? Okay, so I'm looking at the steering right now. So when you're looking at the steering conceptually, the way they have it set up, there's a servo receiver right now. The crank, there's a spring right there. It looks very, very sturdy. Let's see how it's coming across. Yeah, pretty solid. I never had any really any problems with the 2075. So that's something that you guys should definitely look into when you are when you do buy the RC, because most of the 2075s that I've acquired have to be between the slash 4x4 slash two-wheel drive, Rustlers, Stampede, two-wheel drive, 4x4, all those had the 2075. I never had a situation where they failed on me. Gio, what's up? We're killing it in NYC. That's funny. Okay. Oh, and that question was from Scott Novak. So he was talking about the way the bell crank is for the 2075. Easy Tracks. Gio, what's up? What's going on, man? Okay. I I do not think so. This is totally a different. See, the XO1 was built uh, for mostly for speed. It was the first production car that was able to go 100 miles an hour. This car is going to be a lot more versatile. You're going to be able to do drifting. You're going to be able to do different types of videos because, like I said, this car looks. I mean, you guys are seeing it through the camera. I'm looking at it visually. This thing is very, very, very scale. So you are able to do a lot of other videos, you know, with this and other 1/10 scale vehicles that are out there. So this is just, you know, something else that's coming into the market that you guys are able to check out, you know. And like I said, most of the guys come across and upgrade these things to the 9. So, you know, there's just going to be so many things you're going to be able to do with the 4GT. It's not even funny. Okay. Yes, I'm going to drive it, Mr. Connor Grow. I'm going to drive it in a few seconds for you guys to check it out. Michael Rittenborn. Yes, thank you very much, Michael, for reminding people that. Don't forget the like button. That definitely does help out the channel. Put a Mamba in it. I don't think the Mamba Monster would be able to fit in there, but you never know. Somebody might come out with a cool mount that's able to dump in there. So the controller is on. Yes, the controller is on our Overkill RC because I'm going to be driving this live for you guys to check out. Is it on sale now, bro? Nope. And actually, they are doing pre-orders. This comes out in mid-May. And the pre-orders, it's going to be like around $289 from here. I believe it's from the Traxxas website. It's $309. So it all depends on how you want to do this. If you want to, these guys at Willis Hobbies get this immediately when it comes out. You know, like I said beforehand, you know, I've been able to get a lot of RCs day one or even before that. You can get it through Traxxas. You will be paying the retail price from Traxxas, but they get it to you immediately. So that's pretty much cool. Can you drive? Yeah, I'm going to drive it. Of course I'm going to drive it. Yeah, it's going to be released in mid-March. Is it electric or gas? The Nitro 4Tec came out years ago. That was the nitro gas-powered one. This is the electric version. So that's primarily what you're looking at with this RC. I'll give you a background view of it. Since you guys have been seeing it from the front, I'll give you the back view, you know, for you guys to see how it looks from the back. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Gio, you need a clear body and paint it to match the XO. You know, I'm waiting for Traxxas to come across and release their bodies for me to do something. Okay. Yo. Emails as well. Captain X, subscribe to you, blah, blah, blah. Somebody selling an X-Max. Okay, how does it seed with no body? Oh. Alright. So let me get this battery going in and then I'll come across, I'll drive this on the floor for you guys to see what you're looking at. So I'm not too sure. Do you guys want to see me drive this thing? First I'll give you a quick throttle, see how the wheels go. And I know a lot of people want to see, you know, what's going to be the extension of the wheels and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to drive it on the floor for you guys to check out a few things on there. Hopefully, like I said, this is live. We'll see what my driving skills are, and hopefully I don't crash into anything. So we'll see. Is it rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? This is all-wheel drive. I'm going to take off the body and give you guys a visual on this again. This is the center drive shaft right here, okay? And you see the front and rear drive shafts. This is the rear, this is the front, and this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. So, and like I said, we're going to be driving this on carpet. So this is not going to be asphalt. This is going to be, it's going to drive a little bit differently. All right. right, so the battery's going to be available in a few minutes, so we're going to be checking that out in a few. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll start that. So let me install the nickel metal hydride battery into this unit. Then I'm going to have to twist this around.
It's a little different in certain areas. Certain cars have like skinnier tires in front.
And I'm going to need the clips, the body clips.
So you do different.
Was like the
Formula One's cars, they handle very long, very wide.
yeah. Just play around with this.
Yeah.
First, the digital set.
Oh, you're going digital, you have to use that.
So the chips.
So bear with me 1 second. Okay. Bum. Let me see if I could tighten this down. Perfect. All right. So I do have the lipo in there right now. All right. So I do have the lipo in. This is my 2-cell lipo. As you can see, when you're running lipo when it's green. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. If I can get some clips. Got the clips. I'll put the clips on the body, and then we're gonna drive this. I'm gonna put it on the floor. We're gonna drive this around.
Can I do a split between cash and
See the cash rush. It was 73 minutes.
There we go. Got this two in the front. All right. Awesome. All right. So let me set this up on the floor for you guys to check out.
So,
Give you a visual.
I got this from my kid.
All right.
I can put this towards, yeah, so I'll use. the
So
whole thing
let me
on
see.
that. So
So
I
make
gotta
sure you
give
guys are there and
this is
there.
220.
All right,
I gotta
so-
give you, what, 250 something.
Is that a foam bumper? Yes.
I'll give you 260.
All right. So let's get you guys going. So it does have kick. It does have a lot of kick on this thing. As you guys can see, it's pretty accurate on how I'm steering. So, whoops, like I said, I don't want this is live. So usually if I did a run video, I'd edit this out, but I'm showing you live at the hobby shop and stuff like that. But it's pretty sturdy. Let me go down the hobby shop for you guys to see. I know you guys can see all the way down there. So as you can see, it's on carpet right now, and it's pretty on point when it comes down to steering, and you're able to drift out real nice, when you're driving it around. So this is definitely going to be a lot of fun, when you're driving this around, with your friends. So when I want to come across and do quick turns, it's on point, It's very sturdy on the steering. It's very nimble, and I just give it a little throttle,
Yeah, once you get
and
over
you're able to come across and
layout, once you get over a certain size, you have power.
you're able to come across and drive it around. I mean, it's pretty awesome, Let me see if I can steering trim this a little bit.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, hold on. I'm blind. Just a little, yeah, just a little. There you go. So like I said, you know, it's very accurate. If you guys are gonna be drifting around, it's gonna be pretty awesome. You know, I'm not trying to put tread marks on on the carpet on the hobby shop, but it's pretty accurate. Now, other things that people want to find out about it, definitely people want to find out the sturdiness of the tires as well. So I'm gonna bring this up here a little bit. So as you're looking at this, so I give it a little bit of throttle. So as you can see, with the 2S LiPo, you don't really see any ballooning on the tires, which is pretty impressive. So I'm glad you guys were able to enjoy that. I'm glad they were able to help me out in showcasing this. Once again, I'm just gonna go over a few more questions and then we'll finish this up. You see another cop car? I guess you guys, yeah. They saw your cop car. Okay, let me see. That hobby shop looks nice, and that's from Warhawk Legend 69. So they're very impressed with your hobby shop.
Thank you.
Let me see. Yeah, once again, another cop car question. Let me see. Hot Rod 2270, speed run that car for me. Yeah, the hobby shop is big, but I can't fully throttle it out. You know, let me see. Yeah, RC Fest Production says just did the donuts. You know, I'm glad you guys were able to see the capabilities of the car on carpet. Just imagine what it's going to look like on the street. The donuts are going to be incredible. And the way this car is set up, from what I was informed by Traxxas themselves, that you're able to set up the back to make this a drift vehicle, which is a cool thing. That's my RC says, whoop whoop, holla. It worked really bad. I worked really bad worthing car worth the money. Thanks, man. Yeah, so one of the guys is like, you know, was worried about the price point and everything like that, but you know, they're liking how it was showcased. I want to get this for my son. How is the training mode on it? The training mode that you're able to set up is pretty much the way it's set up on any of the Traxxas vehicles. Yeah, so there is a training mode for the ESC for when your son does drive it. He's able to, you know, to have at a lower speed rate and then get himself a little bit more adapted to the speed that you want him to be there, because you don't want your son driving into the street and getting the car squashed by another car. So, and also if he's driving it in the house, you don't want it to crash into your furniture or your home theater. Can a 2400 kV motor fit in it? If it's a 110 scale, I believe it should, with no issues. Easy Track says Willis got everything. Yeah, they Willis does. You're able to come in here and not be disappointed. I guarantee you that. Let me see. That's Marcy. I will have to watch the video later because thumbs up because I know it's good. All right, excellent. Easy Track, Springfield this Sunday. Possibly. What's the top speed? Top speed is 30 miles per hour plus. You are running a brushed system in there. But once you dump the brushless in there, it's going to be a whole different animal. Let me see. For a brush car, it has a lot of power and wheel spin. Yes, it does. I'm very impressed, you know, with that. And I was happy that I was able to, the guys over here were able to, you know, assist me in having this car ride in their hobby shop, which is definitely cool. The Anime Lover. I like Willis Hobbies. Then definitely check them out. It's true, the rear car is held with 4 screws and nuts. The rear end of the car, yes. 2400 kV. Thanks. Do you guys sell on eBay? No, they do not, because primarily what happens is that they are a hobby shop, so it would be a different price. It would be a different type of scenario, because once you start selling on eBay, you don't need a hobby shop. And I'll always say again and again, support your hobby shops. How long does the batteries take to charge? It all depends on the type of charger that you have. So that's primarily what you're looking at. So Tyler Stone, Great video, Gio. Oh, thank you very much. So hopefully this video was very informative to you. I'm very happy that Willis Hobbies was able to come across and kind of help you in your decision in getting the Ford GT. This is pretty much a cool thing that I was able to even have my hands on this since it does come out in May. So hopefully this video was informative to you. Hopefully I was able to answer a lot of the questions that you had for this video. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. It's definitely appreciated. I always try to help you guys out with the hobby and stuff like that. The next videos I will be doing with this RC will be run videos with the brush system and coming across and throwing the VXL system 4-pull motor and ESC, which is going to be something pretty awesome. You want to see the rear view of the car? All right. Before I let you guys go, I'll give you a full conceptual visual of the car, and hopefully that's able to help you out with your decision on the RC. Like I said to you before, and I'll say it again, this car, you guys are seeing it on video. You have no idea how scale this vehicle does look. So this is the rear of the car. As you guys can see, the way it's set up, it's very scale. As you can see, here's the air intake. You can see totally down it. So that's pretty cool. A lot of people haven't seen that part of it. I'll show you the front of it so you're able to see all the way down, you know. So that's pretty much it. That's the front of the vehicle. This is the side. Definitely cool scale vehicle that's Traxxas has produced. I mean, I've seen a lot of their let's not even lie. It's not that I've seen a lot of their vehicles. I own almost every one of their vehicles. So I'm gonna take off the top and give you the internal parts of it for the final time. This is the top of the RC. As you can see, I have a 2S LiPo in there. It is on right now. This is the bottom of the RC. As you guys can see, this conceptually, it looks like from the Traxxas / two-wheel drive 4x4 LCG, pardon me. And as you guys have seen, I'm able to come across and just give you that's how it's set up as, and that's on a brush system. So once again, everyone, thank you for checking out the live presentation of the Ford GT. I think me doing live videos like this does help out with the Q&A. So hopefully that was definitely informative to you guys. I'm very happy that you guys were able to attend this. Thank you very much. Rate, comment, subscribe, always, that does help me out. And to all my fellas up in YouTube, later.